Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Bias with a Little Truth. I'm your boy D. Cott, and I've got my boy with me, Reggie, King of the Trolls, aka Homer Reggie, aka I don't believe the truth Reggie, aka he's shaking his head Reggie. So welcome to the show, Reggie. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. Got around the golf fan, man. That's why we had to push the show back a little bit, man. Unfortunately, I got it. That's my stress reliever, but that's something else to talk about later. But I'm ready to go because I'm really tired of you and your hateful ways and everything.
Well, I'm tired of me too. But before we get into all of this, I want to make sure we give some love to our sponsors. First off, Bigsy Sports Grill. Head down to 7802 Brookville Road in Indy for the best game day atmosphere in town. Catch every play on their massive TVs, on the wall, big screens. Grab a hand-breaded Hoosier tenderloin or a cold tap beer. Make Bigsy's your official sports destination every single week. Next up, Wire to the Nines. Whether you're upgrading your home electronics, dialing in commercial setup, need precision electrical work done right about the first time, Wire to the Nines has you covered. Powering your world. Top-tier craftsmanship. Don't settle for average when you can be wired to the nines. Third, Hamilton Heating and Cooling. Don't get caught out in extreme temperatures with a broken unit. The local experts at Hamilton Heating and Cooling keep you running comfortably all year round. Fast, reliable HVAC service, repairs, installations that you can always count on. And last but not least, our newest sponsor, Blue TV. Tired of getting hit with massive cable bills every single month? Tired of being told you got to pay for play to watch your Pacers? It's officially time to cut the cord. Cut your cost in half with Blue TV. Get all your favorite live sports channels, entertainment through their premier streaming service for a fraction of what traditional providers charge. Switch to Blue TV today and start saving today 100%. As we always say, thanks to all four of our sponsors. Without them, there's no us. Without us, there's no them. So appreciate the support. And now, getting back to our business at hand. We are here to talk live sports. We're here to have some fun. We've got some energy to be spewed out. And I know you all saw the thumbnail. We got, me in my Tide gear and Reggie in his Colts gear. And I was told something. Let me get myself straight. Hold on a minute. Y'all hold on. Let me get my I got my workshop here going. I'm gonna make sure now I'm good. I was told something. I was told that when I get on this show, I'm gonna address the Colts situation. I'm gonna address this situation. I'm gonna show you all I'm not playing. I'm not here to play today. I may be king of the trolls, but I'm Reggie. Aloysius Sykes today. I'm not playing. So my boy told me he's ready to roll. So this is his show. I'm gonna give him the floor and say,
well. First of all, let's we gonna lead up to that. See, I got a new camera and I'm trying to figure out the best angle of the camera and everything. Because it ain't the regular computer camera. It's the leftover camera that you gave me. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the Colts, and I'm gonna give you my honest opinion of the Colts. But first, what I want to talk about what's happening in college football. I want to talk about the rule that the Big Ten just made, and what your guy Keith at LSU, the cheater, the nobody who y'all give too much credit to. He's not technically breaking the rule, but he's breaking the rule because he's a habitual rule
is it
breaker.
A rule or is it not a rule? We want to start there first. We want to make sure we want to be straight down the line with the folks today. We don't want to mix truth with fiction. So So basically, what you're telling me is, it may not be a rule, but it's Slick Willie kind of used car salesman type stuff. Is what you're saying?
This is lame. Look how he did it. Ole Miss. Look how he done went to pro teams and decided he wanted. Bug him. I don't like him. I don't like LSU, and I don't like this move. I understand that the kid he signed with Cleveland as a tight end. I understand that he didn't do anything in preseason. And I don't even know if he practiced or not. But once you sign on the dotted line to leave college, nowadays you need to do like the women do in women basketball. In women basketball, they don't go pro too early because they make too much money in college ball. There's a lot of money in college ball. You shouldn't have never signed on the dotted line. If you got advisors and your advisors are advising you to go, well, you need to suffer the consequences and get cut and go on to your next stop instead of trying to go back down to college and make money. You should have stayed your butt in college, and if you want to go to LSU or say at Ole Miss or whatever, stayed there and did that. I understand that he got to do what's best for his family, but you're messing up other players in the line because they're not expecting you to come back. It ain't their fault that you got hurt. It ain't their fault that your advisors advised you to go to the NFL. It's not none of their fault. It's your fault. You're a grown man. You're making those decisions. You need to surround yourself with the right people and not be around. Everybody. You need to weigh your opinion. And if you make the wrong decision, it's called growing up. It's called being a man. I made the wrong decision, so now I got to try to see if I can get on another pro team because he's more than likely going to be cut by the Cleveland Browns.
So listen, you made some very passionate points, right? But first we got to start off with this, right? It's not a rule that's broken, right? We got to be fair about that. And just because the Big Ten commissioner said we're not doing it, that won't stop teams from doing it because you can't institute a rule in that dynamic. So just like the SEC, they came out admonishing, and the Big Ten did the exact same thing. But if a coach says, I'd rather coach this player than coach against him, that's what they're going to do. Nate Oates did last season for Alabama in basketball. And he wasn't the only. Baylor did if they had 3 players, if I remember right. So we got to be careful. Instead of saying, if you don't do it, somebody else will. And that's what these coaches are seeing. It's an arms race, right? I'm not saying it's okay, all that stuff. But what I'm saying is the Big Ten can't legislate, well, we're not going to do it because we're the Big Ten. Stop. Don't try to give them that what they're trying to do is get that fake cachet out there. Don't. Because, you can admonish it all you want, but you can't go to your teams and say, your coaches, their staff say, you can't do this. You can't. It's because the ruling made it okay. The legal ruling made it okay. So I know they got the chest pumped out. Oh, yeah, we aren't going to allow it. I'll tell you what. Now, we got this as a recording. I will bet you, whatever you want to bet, someone in the Big Ten, because there's going to be about 500 players cut, seems like. Maybe not that many. It's going to be a whole lot of players cut. Now, I promise you, we're going to dig in about 3 weeks. We're going to see an ex-NFL player on a Big Ten roster. So we just got to be careful. And the graduates is not us. We wouldn't do that. Yeah, you would.
Well, you know what, Kai? I know you love the SEC. Well, you say you don't love the SEC. You say you love the Tide. But I see your bias towards the SEC. I mean, you say you don't have any biases towards SEC.
We're talking about the Big Ten.
We are talking about the Big Ten. We are talking about the Big Ten. You talked about other schools that are going to do it. You're right. There are going to be other schools that are going to do it. But just because other schools do it, don't mean the Big Ten is going to do it. And the Big Ten has laid down a ruling, and I'm sure there's going to be some consequences.
Stop misrepresenting these people. It's not a ruling. You can't do that, man. It's not a ruling.
I bet you don't nobody in the Big Ten do it. Well, I bet you that.
We can make a bet. We can make it on a recording. You put the money in the wood and make your betting good. You tell me what you want to bet. It's an open invite.
Let's bet you wearing a Notre Dame T-shirt. Let's bet that.
No, because I'm not going to allow you to touch your paws on anything Alabama. I'm not having. You got to buy your own. You ain't touching Alabama stuff.
Look, no. I know this show isn't political, but it brings up a story. It's my
job. So listen. If you want to bet, I'll wear a Notre Dame thing, and you wear an Alabama thing. That's fine, but that's gonna be it. We ain't going no. If you don't want to bet any money, that's fine. But I prefer to bet some money because I got bills to pay. And I want to make those things.
$5, 5 big ones.
No.
$5.
No, we just stick with the jersey. We'll stick with. I've got an Alabama jersey. I bet you got a closet full of Notre Dame stuff. I'm sure.
I have a closet full of Southern University stuff because I love Southern University.
So
but my bias is towards.
You said Notre Dame. What is it? Notre Dame or Southern?
I like Notre Dame. You know, I like every. What's the bottom? What does my name say at the bottom? What does it say?
I know.
Is your dementia kicking in? Is your dementia kicking in?
It's just laughable. That's all.
I says Homer Reggie. Do I need to put Indiana Homer Reggie in there so you can understand that I like all the Indiana things? Do I need to put that in there?
No, sir, you don't. So am I going to have to wear? Going back to what I said. Am I going to have to wear a Notre Dame?
Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Because it would be kind of like me making that bet with you and your 10 NFL teams. I will have to get a jacket with all 10 of the NFL logos that you want on it. And every year you want to make a bet. Since you change teams every year, I will have to change up the team logos every year if you made that bet.
You committed to not coming here, going on your tangent, right? So we've got the bet. If in fact there's a Big Ten school that has an ex-NFL player on it, you will wear Bama gear. And if it is not, I will wear Alabama gear. A Notre Dame gear. Now let me ask you. Here, no, ain't no asking. Here's the caveat to that. It's really simple. You gotta wear it at the Pacer game. You gotta wear it now. Since you want to just make it easy, but we gotta wear it at the Pacer game. And you know we're gonna be on camera, and you know we're gonna be out for everybody. So that's the ticket. Flip this. Next subject. So now, as we talk about this bipartisan ruling that was made that players are able to come back. Okay, I'm with you 100%. I don't like it. However, when you're manipulating the rule process, that's what you have. We can wish in one hand and blink in the other and see which one fills up first. But coaches and teams are going to take these guys when there's an opportunity. Now, mind you, here's your problem with this. To make room for some of these players, current players on the roster are going to have to get cut. And to your point, that's another issue I've got with it, because I don't think that's right either. But unfortunately, if you got an opportunity for a guy who's got NFL-type talent, he's going to be probably better than any other guy at his current position. More than likely. There's going to be some that aren't, but more than likely. That puts LSU in a really good spot. They've already got one good tight end, a really big dude, about 6'6", 280. Now you've got another formidable tight end. So that's going to be a challenge for a lot of teams in the SEC, just period. But it's not going to make or break, because I guarantee you, last season when Nate Oates brought his center in from the G League, it was, oh man, look what happened. They got beat the first game the guy came in and played.
Yeah.
Well, so there's
football is a team sport. It takes 11 people. I still don't think it's fair for you to sign a pro contract and be able to come back. I don't care what the courts say. I just totally disagree.
The hell with the court. It's just what you feel, and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hell with the courts. I said it. Yeah.
So, but to continue with that, right? So you're talking about, it's complex, obviously, and the NFL NIL structuring comes into play. There's a lot to this, man. There's a lot of tentacles in this, Reggie. So this isn't something to just to poo-poo. This is LSU, and you saw Lane Kiffin yesterday, and he talked about everybody else doing it, and he's a scam artist, right? So everybody else is doing it, and we're not the only ones doing it. No, we're just talking to you, Lane. You're at the podium. You're not at the podium for the country. You're at the podium for LSU. Own it for your school. So yeah, we did it because in the courts we could do it. If you don't like it, be like me and keep on moving. But he sit there moving around. You get nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Couldn't sit still. Why? Because he understands how he's being looked at. 100%.
Well, my buddy Mike Eason says that there's nothing different. It's like a player coming back for their senior year. Yeah, it is different because you wanted to go pro. You shouldn't be allowed to come back. When you make grown folks decisions, grown folks stick with the decisions that they made. Now you can always look back and say, "Hey, I was wrong. I ain't making no money. I'm only making $200,000. I'm about to get cut in training camp, and I can go back to LSU, and I know Lane gonna give me $1 million. So you're gonna have too many kids running back messing up programs, Michael. That's why I don't agree with it.
But you're right. But here's the deal: within the framework of the rules, that's it. It's just like we talked about when Nick went on Capitol Hill, save college football bill, right? You know why? Because the NCAA doesn't have any teeth, Reggie. They don't have any juice. They can't do anything because what's going to happen? Soon as you say a player can't, he's going to court, and he's going to go to court in his state. Just like the Texas Tech quarterback who won his ruling, but unfortunately Texas Tech said, listen, we don't want that smoke. You're going to have to move on. But he won his ruling. He was eligible to play. And that's the thing, right? It's just there, and we can be mad about it. We may not like it. We may feel a certain way, but that's what it is, right? It's unfortunate. So we've got to look at this in an inner perspective and say, what are they going to do to fix it? Right, and then we talked about this a couple of shows ago on the Save College Football bill. There's a lot of processes in the Save College Football bill I love. 5 years and out. I love that, right? If you transfer once, you got a free transfer. But if you transfer the second time, you got to sit out of here. Those are the two highlights for me that I love. Now, there's a lot of other things that, from a business perspective that schools are going to be exempt from, which is not fair in some ways, because they're saying, listen, if we're doing this, can we cap costs for our players? Are we subject to antitrust laws? And I'm not a lawyer, but I understand it to a point. Antitrust would mean they're not liable for a lot of things. I don't like that part of the Save College Football bill. So, regardless of where you stand, there's some good in that, and there's some not so good in that. But again, big picture wise, it's going to happen. I know it got knocked down, I think, in Congress.
It's not. It's dead, done and done. It's dead. It's gone. That's not going to happen.
It ain't dead. I promise you.
It's dead for this session of Congress.
They're looking at a revised process, right? And again, it's going to be something, because as it stands now, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And that is real with that. So no, you're right. Saying that on the surface it's not a good look, but until that good look, that bad look is illegalized, people are going to do it, brother.
Michael, you comparing apples to oranges. You're saying that Major League Baseball is doing it. Major League Baseball, I'm not sure what you mean by Major League Baseball doing it. I see what they do overseas, but once a high school declares for going pro, are they allowed to come back and play college ball? Or they don't even declare. I think in baseball they just draft them, and if they decide to go to college, they just go to college.
That's a different dynamic. I think, and I don't want to speak for Mike. That's my dude, Roll Tide, by the way, Mike. What I think they're trying to say, what Mike's trying to say is, in high school a guy can get drafted, still go and play college, but in college they got to play 3 years though. They've got to play 3 years, if I remember right. Regardless of freshman, sophomore, you got to play 3 years, and then you're eligible. But think about Chris Winkie. Chris Winkie was drafted in baseball. He as a 26 year. See, it's funny. No one wants to talk about Chris Winkie being 20-something years old back then, right? But it happened. So Chris Winkie played at Florida State. He won the Heisman Trophy. I remember he did. Then he, of course, he couldn't play football. He wasn't, he was football, right? So guess what happens? Chris Winkie played baseball, and then when he was 26 years old, he came to Florida State and played football. But no one complained about that. So
I forgot all about that, man.
There's a dynamic to it, right? There's a dynamic to it that people got to understand. The troll thing and all that, but the facts are the facts. Chris Winkie was way out in front of all this, but for some reason, I hear about a 26-year-old kicker that played at Indiana University, won a national title, but I hear a damn person complaining about Chris Winkie. And don't give me I didn't know that or that didn't matter. Oh yeah, it mattered. It only mattered because you dogged Indiana and you said there's no way they can win. They kicked the shit out of Ohio State, knocked the snot out of Miami, and then the coach said, Google me, and when you did Google him, you saw a national title. Everything he said, he backed it up. He brought receipts, and people don't like that. So that's that whole deal. If you want to talk about it, you come on Con's Corner. Anybody who y'all want, we can discuss it. But you better bring up Chris Winkie and what he did at Florida State before you come to me about a 27-year-old punter who was the oldest player on the Indiana team last season. Google me. Check me. So that's what I'm saying. We got to be careful with that, right? With this outrage. Oh, I can't believe these old players. Man, please, that ain't the first time it's been done.
Right. Well, I see the trolls have entered the chat. I see Eric on there talking about make Reggie wear a FAMU shirt. You know what I think about FAMU? Yeah, y'all number one FAMU. You're number one FAMU. Yeah.
So your thoughts on that? Are we tying a bow on that one on the NFL eligible players going back to college?
I think you're going to see. I think I agree with you on that. You know, this is my final take on it. You're going to see other kids try it. You know, and
question.
Yeah.
Why do people call these individuals kids? Why y'all call them kids? I don't understand that.
When I was in college, I was called a kid. So I was called
that
a
was
kid.
60 years
young
ago.
Man.
That was 60 years ago.
It wasn't 60 years ago. Just because you're 70 years old.
They're making they're making adult decisions, making adult money. They're damn kids. Ain't no damn Billy Goats out there. Those are men.
It's 21 minutes in, and here you go. But they're kids. Child actors that make millions of dollars, people still refer to them as kids.
We talking about sports men who are.
It don't matter. They got people leading their life, telling them what to do.
Reggie,
so yeah, they're kids.
Reggie, we ain't talking about 12-year-olds. We're talking about individuals.
20 young people. Let me is that better?
You aren't eligible to put your names in NFL draft until you're 3 years out of high school.
Correct.
Hold on. You're 21. Stop calling them kids, man.
Some kids go to college early. I'll call them young people. This is really this debate right here, or the kids or young people, really is you going off on a tangent trying to make me go off on a rant. But I'm not. I'm cool.
It's just not accurate. They're not kids.
Yes. They're young people. They're young people.
Keep you on the rails.
They're young people. No, they're young people. You're trying to make me go off on a rant, but I ain't. They're young people. No. Okay, man. Enough of that. Let's go to the next subject. What's your final thoughts on them?
Awesome. Here's our next subject. But I'm gonna say that for last. The next subject. We're gonna go at college. We're gonna stay in college football. We're gonna move the goalposts a little bit. We want to talk about. You brought it up as well too. Notre Dame having an opportunity to win a national title since 1988. Let's talk about their roster. Let's talk about Freeman. Let's talk about what we see in them in their schedule and their dynamic going into this season. Their two toughest games on paper, at home against Miami and on the road against BYU. Talk to me about Notre Dame, because I'm on record saying what I'm saying. And
I know. And I don't like you being on record saying that, because first of all, you're a jinx. And usually when you cheer for teams, you usually make that team lose. I mean, the Detroit Pistons,
Notre Dame,
Alabama time.
40 years. Is what you're saying? You the one throw up the jinx now. Now said you're mad.
Freeman's an excellent coach and an excellent recruiter. Kelly really did him bad that one year when he left him with the LSU. The story is that Freeman was at a recruit's house, and he didn't even know Kelly was leaving. And he was like, well, we got you. Come in. We're going to take care of you, Kelly. And here it is announced that Kelly's leaving. So Freeman was a good individual and a good person. I think he's out of Ohio. He's an excellent recruiter, and he has really did a good job putting his staff together and getting those kids in there and getting kids to buy into the program. I heard you and Isaiah tripping about they didn't want to play in a bowl game. They took a vote as a team.
Tripping?
They took a vote as a team not to play in that bowl game. You know, they've made enough money off their NBC contract. People are mad because they're staying independent. You're mad because they're scheduled. I remember when Alabama Tide used to play a cream puff schedule until they got into the SEC competition. Until they got into the SEC.
I'm on fact check.
Until they got into the league play in the SEC. They always play
no. See, you can't. I'm not letting you wiggle off the hook like that, Daddy. No. Every team in the country has a Power 4, a Power 4 lower rated D1 school that they play. Don't try it. Don't try to wiggle off the hook now. You said schedule. Don't wiggle out to well, they're scheduled for the SEC. No. You said schedule.
I think one time Alabama scheduled Indiana Fort Wayne. I think they scheduled Indiana Fort Wayne or Wabash one time.
You know what would be really good? You got your internet right there. Just Google it. When did the Alabama? You got me all messed up. When did the Alabama Crimson Tide play IU Fort Wayne? Yeah, that's what I thought. So hey, I'll pull your receipts today. Don't try it.
If they was gonna play anybody, they should have played Marshall when Marshall was good back in the day. But they were scared to play schools like Marshall and them back in the day.
So okay, you know what? I'm gonna let you have that because this ain't gonna be Notre Dame versus Alabama. You got your damn mind. You know that, right? You realize you got your mind.
I'm just saying what I thought. You know. But
so we talked
back on Notre Dame. Back on Notre Dame though. Freeman, and I hear you talking, and coaches, teams may be trying to recruit him to come to the NFL. I just don't see Freeman leaving Notre Dame. And I know you don't like Notre Dame because they did Ty. Notre Dame do all their coaches like that, except they gave the offensive coordinator from New England Patriots a little bit more leeway.
They did him like that, dude. They still paying him, bro.
So why you upset? Because he's still getting paid. All them coaches. How many coaches have Notre Dame fired that are still getting paid?
Brother, this ain't Cancun. It ain't all inclusive. We were talking about individual coaches. If you want to bring in the all inclusive, that's a whole different story.
I'm talking about first the Notre Dame coaches. I'm not talking about no other school.
Listen,
I'm talking about the Notre Dame.
Okay. What I'm saying to you is this, right? It's just I know ifs, ands, and buts about it. The way they treated Tyrone Willingham, they've not treated any other coach. Matter of fact, Davies, they didn't treat Davies this bad. Hell, they didn't treat the high school coach, the guy was a high school coach in Moeller High School in Cincinnati that bad. He was Tim Brown's coach before the '87 season. So Gary something, I forget his last name. They treated him great. The guy, and we're looking at it, we're in Indiana. No one has been treated worse than Tyrone Willingham. You can try to include others.
Whatever. Everybody still got paid their money. And I don't think that Freeman is leaving Notre Dame to go to the NFL. I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
That's your hope.
I just don't think he's going to leave. I just think he's a great coach. And I agree with you. I mean, that offensive line, defensive line, that's where the games are won at. That's why you get mad at the coach, because they draft offensive linemen and defensive line. But that's another subject. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that on the back end of the show.
But I think about the Colts again. Staying on Notre Dame, there's no argument that they've got some of the most talent coming back. And I know we were on the call with JB and Brandon. They were kind of downplaying the quarterback and downplaying, replacing running back. Got it. They're a factory, man. Freeman has that place as a factory. I'm not a Notre Dame fan, but I'm man enough to say it. He is running a factory in South Bend. They're printing money up there. They've got the cachet that no one else has. They got a guaranteed playoff bid as long as
they got what cash? What are you talking about? Cachet?
Their brand recognition, Reggie.
Oh, I thought you were talking about money. You need to clarify.
CACH.
Okay, because I thought you were talking about like Texas and Texas Tech and Texas A&M. All them schools got the money and name recognition.
Reggie, I would pause because there's some data here that I ain't gonna share on this one because we got some other stuff we're gonna talk about. But be careful. I hear a lot of people saying this school got more money than this school. Lighten up, Francis. Be careful. Emotions come out and we say things that aren't accurate. So we got to be careful. And I ain't talking about you either. This time, anyway. Others have said, "Oh, this school has money," and they're wrong as two left shoes. So Notre Dame's got the money. They got the cachet. They don't have to be in a conference. They keep all of their money, right? And they got brand recognition like nobody else. And here's the other thing with Notre Dame, which is a great thing for them. They can call their shots. They can go out to the Rose Bowl. Rose Bowl sees about 100,000 people. 75,000 of them going to be Notre Dame fans. They've got the brand recognition that no one else has, man. We can people can be mad at it all they want. That's why they can do what they do. And as long as you can do what you do, you ain't got to change. You ain't got to go to a conference. You ain't got to placate to the others. Plus, you bigger than that. And let's be honest here. Right now, I know they haven't won anything, but right now, from a name perspective, Notre Dame's bigger than all of them. But everybody's talking about it. They should get in the conference. They should get in the conference. It's a shame. They ain't going.
Well,
why go to the conference?
That's debatable. So we'll leave that alone. But that about they could do basically what you just said, anything that they want.
So
now,
you've been asleep for the last couple of years because they've been doing what they want, right?
They just independent.
That's not a guess.
I mean, you and Isaiah, y'all make jokes. Notre Dame is crime.
You see me laughing? I ain't laughing.
No, I'm talking about y'all. No, I'm talking about the things y'all said in the past. Talking about if they're in the top 12, if they're in the top 12, they get.
It's not a joke, Reggie. It's the truth. If they're a top 12 team, they're in the playoff. What are you talking about? It's the truth.
Well, the college playoff people had to agree with it. The big conferences had to agree to it for it to happen. The ACC, the Big Ten, and the SEC had to agree to it for it to be true. Reggie, right? Am I correct? They didn't just say, if you don't do this, we're not going to play in it. They ain't pulling the SEC talking about leaving the NCAA.
Reggie, you're not right. You're not right. What I'm saying to you is there's only one school that is guaranteed a playoff bid if they're a top 12 team.
And it had to be approved, didn't it? They didn't just say that.
Reggie, by the NCAA and also the playoff group.
That's what I said.
Not a conference, Reggie. You said conference. You've got representatives from conferences on that committee.
On that committee, exactly. Exactly. You have representatives.
It's not conferences, though, Reggie.
I know, but they're gonna do what's best for their conference. Whoever represents the Big Ten, whoever represents the SEC, whoever represents the ACC, they're gonna do what's best.
Tell me why the Big Ten and the SEC don't have a deal like that then. If what you just said, if they're going to do what's best for their conference, tell me why nobody in the SEC or Big Ten, ACC, Big 12 have that deal.
Where they get a number? Because Notre Dame's independent. That's why they don't get. The rest of schools ain't independent. But my point is though that those representatives of those conferences, they're not going to agree with anything they don't like. More than likely, they're all going to be against Notre Dame. The Big Ten, SEC, if they don't join a conference, ACC, they're going to be against Notre Dame. So they're going to do what was right. They're going to want Notre Dame in it because, like you said, the amount of people that Notre Dame can attract to a playoff game.
Listen, in these games, these bowl championship series games, they're all sold out. So they don't need that. What I'm saying to you is, in this perspective, the SEC and Big Ten say, it'd be great to have Notre Dame there. Maybe they're saying, no, I'm not going to troll because I don't troll anymore. But there's other reasons why they're okay with it, and we'll leave it at that. So the next topic we talked about, I know you want to tap into the Big Ten, and we covered a lot of things around Big Ten. I think you mentioned you want to talk a little bit about the Hoosiers, if I remember right.
I don't remember saying anything about the Hoosiers, but you go first. Let me see what you do.
Okay, so there's a lot of talk about in Hoosier Nation, B-Town down in Bloomington. They're mad because they are preliminarily sixth rated team in the country after winning a title. There's a lot of anger down in Bloomington. They're mad at the world, right?
Well,
I want to get your take on that because, again, what I think for a fact they were lower last year and they won the title.
They were. I don't have a problem with them being ranked. Like I told you, I gave my rankings, my top 5 teams. I told you IU, Notre Dame, Ohio State. What are the other 2? I said Oregon.
You said Georgia.
And Georgia.
Yeah.
And Georgia and Oregon. And I don't have them ranked in any particular way. Fans are just so emotional. Like they get all hyped about clash rankings and where my team at the beginning of the season. Let's see them play first. It's just a coach's. That's just like my opinion and your opinion. Don't kill yourself over an opinion before the season already starts. Those clowns don't really get into football. And they don't really understand football. So what you rank number 1 first? So what you rank number 20 first? Clown the polls and get up there to number 1. It doesn't matter at all. The ranking
Mike said
is
they
a
slapping Indiana in the face.
Mike is a Tide fan with you, so he's going to agree with everything you say anyway. He's going to agree with everything you say anyway.
No, I don't know if that's a show moving now. Mike's not an Indiana fan, man. I
know, but he's a Tide fan like you. So that's why you can take that comment down. And I don't see it as a slap in the face. They're ranked in the top 10. Usually they're not even ranked. You know, last year they were like 20th or something, and they came back and won.
I think it was in the high teens, yeah.
And they came back one of the. I don't worry about anything preseason. That's just for us talking heads, like every other talking head. The rankings we do on the NFL, the rankings we do on anything before the season. We're high on our Pacers right now. It don't mean jack until the first couple of games are played, and it's going to be up and down season. So rankings don't. If IU wasn't even ranked, it wouldn't ruffle my feathers because you still have the season to play. It's not where you start; it's where you finish.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to make sure we got a couple more topics.
We weren't talking about. I remember when we were going to talk about the Cleveland Browns, and it's the same that we're talking about such a trash city and a trash team and the trashy Cleveland Browns and the trashy Cleveland Cavaliers and the sorry Major League Baseball team. So yeah. I'm not yelling, Shauna. I'm not yelling. I'm not yelling.
Hey, I can hear Shauna's voice now. Reggie, stop yelling.
Whatever. You know, that's Shauna. If my voice does get a little elevated, it's because this guy that I do the show with, he says things to make me go off on a tangent in a rant. But I'm trying to control it today.
Now, see, she learned it for you. Now she trolling.
Oh my goodness. A Miami Heat fan. She happy they got the Greek feet. This ain't even in our pre-production. We wouldn't even talk basketball.
Back to Cleveland. I want to hear you keep on about Cleveland because I've got a perspective on it, but I want to give you your opportunity because I want to cut you off, man.
So, people are upset that Watson was chosen as the starter quarterback. My take is this. How many practices have you been to? Have you been there to see the practices? How do you know Watson didn't perform in practice better than Sanders in the practices? How do you know how each performs with the number 1 and the number 2? I don't really care for Watson because, I'm happy he got paid. I would have got paid too. Eli corrected me the other day. I thought Texans had cut him, but they did trade him to Cleveland for draft picks, and I had messed that up. But if you're going to give me a guaranteed contract, $200 million, that's your fault.
That's the only reason why he went to Cleveland. That's the only reason why he went to Cleveland. Because
I think Cleveland was the only one that offered him money, wasn't it?
Well, he got traded there, right? So they're the only team to offer him a guaranteed deal. The reason why they had Baker Mayfield there, previous number 1 pick in the draft. He wasn't getting it done. They saw a guy. So you can we're only talking about the 110, the 120 by 53 yards, right? So if you look at what he did while he was at Houston, he signed a $100 million deal, and it was about to expire. So the deal was with this kid. Listen to me. You got me saying kid. This young man left Clemson, winning a national title, beating my boys Bama, lost the other year, came to Houston, set the world on fire. Mm-hmm. So when they gave up 3 number 1 picks for an all-world quarterback that was projected, right? No,
mm-hmm.
Let me rewind. Wasn't projected as he had done it on the field.
Mm-hmm.
You can't find me one Cleveland fake $3 fan that can go back and say y'all paid too much and a draft capital to get him. You won't find one. But now they want to say how dumb we were and how blah blah. Yeah, hindsight's 2020. Yeah, you look at it now. He had 2 Achilles tears. He had a 5-year deal. And he's played 19 games, Reggie, in his whole Cleveland career. 19 games. I get it. But that's hindsight. Up front, talk about it up front before the revisionist history comes. Talk to me about that and show me.
That's what I'm about to tell you now. Man, I know a couple of Cleveland Brown fans, and they were so hyped. We don't care if he has to sit out a whole year. We got Watson. We're Super Bowl bound. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. And what happens? He tears his Achilles. And you're mad because now he's sitting down another year. Then he has to sit down another year. No, your owners were the one that paid him $200 million. He took the money. It's your fault. This is what you want. And then I do remember when they booed him when he tore his Achilles and everything. So I can understand. First of all, players in any sport, y'all need to get out of your feelings. It's so many people in the world. There's always going to be some assholes in the world. I have one on my show, D-Cot. There's going to be assholes in the world that say things that's going to try to piss you off and make you say that, get out of your feelings. Be a grown man. So, okay, they said, oh, they booed. Well, you come back there, you prove them wrong. I think, I ain't been into practices. I don't know. But from the preseason games, I thought Sanders should have been a starter. But you got to look at the whole body of work.
The totality.
You're picking your starters.
Look at the totality, right? Film work, all that stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say, like, this is my perspective, right? And I'm gonna disagree with you with regards to deal with it, tough it out. We on this show we talk about mental health all day and twice on Sunday. And listen, that man's a human being first. That man laid on the ground, got cheered when he tore his Achilles. Okay, booed. Not because of an interception, because he said booed again. He got cheered. They're happy. Fans, damn the fans, right? They say all these wonderful things. They say, oh, well, we love our team. We love our team. And I'm a pivot to another shit can fans as well, too, in a second. Don't let them go in on them. But this man, whatever he did, that ain't y'all business. You don't know what he did. None of y'all were there. And I promise you, many of those who are judging him in any way, shape, or form, boy, I would love to peel the layers back on your private life and see what's really going down there. So you want to sit there and tell the guy, hey, whatever it is. Well, his money kept him out of jail. I promise you that for every Deshaun Watson that money kept him out of jail, there's 100 that didn't have money that are in jail.
Hey, bang, Niner games. Time served and a $1,000 fan. A $1,000 fan. Bang, Niner game. Bang, Niner game. Bang, 49er game.
Reggie, you can't speak about it.
$8.5 billion, and you want to go to $140 trailer park.
Reggie.
Bang, 49er fans get on my nerves. Eric, you one of them.
As a Colts fan, you cannot clown anybody's own. Stop it, man. Let's be real here. You should probably set this one out. You got to set this one out, bro. For real.
I'm not.
You got
to. So, you see the name of the bottom? It says Reggie, King of Trolls. No, I'm not setting nothing now. I don't care what y'all say about Aaron saying drugs. Drugs is addiction. He hurt his back. He got on painkillers.
Reggie, stop.
He had that problem.
Reggie, stop.
So
this goes back to Baltimore.
Hey,
Reggie,
that was his daddy that was alcoholic in Baltimore. That's another drug that picked. So you mean to tell me going to a trailer park is a drug that he's addicted to? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Here's the deal, y'all. We're gonna get off that subject. We're gonna move forward to another subject. We're not gonna talk about the 49ers owner. We're not gonna talk about the Colts owner. We're not gonna talk about their personal misgivings, because this ain't the show for that. If you want to go to ESPN or something like that, you're going to show. We can't hear you. I muted you. We're not doing that. We're not talking about those private lives of those people. We're not doing it. It ain't happening. So you're back on now. We're not doing it. So back to the football piece. We're talking about Cleveland. We talked about Deshaun Watson being the starter. Fans cheered when he hurt himself. He came out in the press conference and said, hey, it was more personal. Then he turned around a day later and apologized. What do you think that came from?
It was bad business. That was a bad move for him. I've heard some sports people saying, I wouldn't go to the game if they named Watson the starter. And then his arrogance in the press conference. People are always talking about stuff in the press conference. You get out your feelings and let them do what they're going to do. That's what I say. This world is too sensitive now. Everybody's talking about all this other stuff that doesn't pertain to necessarily the sport. That's stuff that's happening off the court. Social media has really ruined a lot of sports. Social media is actually messing up the WNBA now with some of the bull crap that's going on now. Eric Canner needs to send his butt back to Turkey.
Let's
he needs to send his butt back to Turkey.
let's go. Let's do football and stay football, and we'll go to that. We're gonna but again, we got to stay on task. But the other thing is, man, we're gonna talk sports. That stuff with that we're not. I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm agreeing with you.
I'm gonna tell you why, right? And I know there's a lot of people. We all got opinions, but I don't know all the facts. So I'm not going to tap into it because I've got my thoughts on it, and those thoughts don't matter from this show.
Look, we're on social media. We're streaming to Facebook and Instagram and everything. We're streaming to YouTube and everything. But social media as a whole is taken entirely too serious nowadays. Like I said, it's messing sports up because people. I like the athletes when they say, "Look, during the season, I disconnect from Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram because it's all it is a distraction." And you're right. There's a million people in the world. They seen you fumble the ball on the 2-yard line, so they're gonna go at you. They're gonna be mad. The bettor's gonna be mad. Who that bet money? Because sometimes these people don't care about the sports. They care if you score 3 touchdowns and have 500 yards or 1,000 yards passing. So right. You're going to get this feedback.
It's money, and you know what? And what's happened with the DraftKings and the FanDuels and all that. Now on DraftKings, every state is eligible now. I remember going down to Mississippi. I couldn't bet with Mississippi. I was calling you, putting my bets in for me when I'm in Mississippi. So now every state can stream, and money talks. And and I understand, and I'm not saying it's okay, but for fans to put money involved and they go out to your point, they're on social media. The players are on social media. So guess what? You're subject to that conversation. But the problem I got is it makes it personal. And then all of a sudden these guys wishing people death threats and that type of thing. That's not cool. You lost your money, you keep it moving, right? But that's what's given these keyboard warriors, as we talked about, right? And that's the thing. Everybody, they're tough behind the keyboard.
He ain't your nephew. He ain't related to us.
Yes.
And Johnny, if you keep it up, you're gonna get put out of Sykes' family.
The love.
He ain't related. You're gonna get put out the family.
I got some green tomatoes coming your way. So anyway,
whatever.
As we continue to go on about this, that's the thing, Reggie. Until this almighty dollar is impacted, it's going to continue to happen. So if I'm a professional athlete, I don't need social media, right? So I'm going to disconnect from myself from it because I don't want to be subject to it. Because, again, your children see it, your family sees it, and guess what? They're going to come back to you. Did you see what they said about you? You try
First of all, but I'm going to tell my family and my advisors, don't give me none of this feedback. But you know me, being the king of chores, I'm a little petty. I may hire a social media person to go at them for. Just go at them for. I'm not on here. Just go ahead and cuss them out and give them, call them number one and everything.
Get a burner account. Is what you're saying, right? Basically.
No, it ain't gonna be a burner account. I'm gonna let them handle my account that I'm not monitoring during the season. That's what I'm gonna do. And troll just like you troll me.
You let somebody speak for you, you might be like, "Oh shoot, I wish they would let them speak for me."
I'm gonna vet them very highly. I'm gonna vet them first.
But you know what? But I'm gonna tell you this. So, we talked about the Cleveland piece, but pivoting over to Shedeur Sanders, I posted something in the Game Time Network on Facebook, and I'll paraphrase. Listen, he's a 5th-round pick. Okay, he gave it his best. He lost the job. The coach has no favoritism towards Shedeur or Watson, right? He's got the coach is coaching for his job, so he's got to put the best 22 starters out there as he can, right? With the support for the offensive coordinator, and defense coordinator, right? So Shedeur Sanders. So what I think is, and what I feel there was a miss, I think his better opportunity, and I said it on the page, that he should have said to Baltimore, "Okay, fine, I'll come." Better franchise. More stability. Cleveland is called the mistake by the lake for a reason, Reggie. Okay, and he had an opportunity to be in Baltimore behind Jackson and a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. Cleveland's aspirations is to win 8 games. Okay, that's their aspiration. So
their aspiration should be to beat the sorry Steelers twice. That's what their aspiration should be.
Well, you said last year they're going to beat the Steelers twice.
I know what I said. Every blue moon, I'm wrong. A blue moon is every so often. Every blue moon, I'm wrong.
It's preseason. You might be right. It's preseason. You might be right still. You never know.
Yeah, we'll see.
But to that point, right? So Shedeur, it's like you said, decision should have made another way. But here's the thing: he's got to be ready. If Watson goes down or plays ineffectively, who's the most popular player on the NFL team? The backup quarterback.
Yes, he is.
There you go.
Yes,
So Shador, hang in there. Continue to hold your head high. But the NFL is not going to define Shador Sanders. And I'm not just stand the family guest or whatever, but it's not going to define it. He's got so much more to him than football, in my belief. And I think he's going to do well whatever he does. He's articulate. He's sharp. He was raised in a good home, respectful. And just the way he came in defense of Watson when they were clowning, he said, no one wants to be that way. You got to be a human. We're all human. We don't want to be talked to like that. And again, no amount of money that Deshaun Watson made is going to keep him from hearing those boos, those cheers, and I'm sure in Cleveland, I'm sure he's getting all type of threats and all type of personal conversation and social media and everything else. So I say people in Cleveland, be better, do better.
Well, it may not just be the people in Cleveland. Me and you have talked about this before.
You're right, Mike. He didn't perform. You're right. You're right. He didn't perform.
Yeah, but I ain't mad at him for taking the money. Yeah, it is what it is. But we've talked about this before. We talk about this. How fans are, and I don't care what state you in, what city you're in. I mean, I think Philadelphia fans are just totally the worst. I mean, throwing snowballs at Santa Claus and everything. I just think they are the worst. But anyway, fans, they think they can say anything to you when you're on the court. I don't like James. I've told you this before. I respect the things that he does off of the basketball court and the platforms that he takes and the things that he try to help other people do. I respect him off the court. On the court, he's a flopper. He needs help to win championships, whatever. I'll talk better.
You and I say y'all find a way to talk about the NBA. Y'all always got to find. We're in the middle of football season. Somehow you placated into something about basketball. Look, you are Isaiah Reggie, King of the Trolls, Sykes Hoffman. That's your name. You be mad. I don't care. You can tap your head out you want. Just like Isaiah. He finds a way to talk about the Lakers.
Are you finished? But like me and you have talked about in the past, we boo and everything. But if you saw some of these players or somebody on the street, I bet you don't come up to them and call them B-I-T-C-H. I bet you don't call them by their name because they're going to knock you the H out. So have some class when you go to these arenas. I saw a Cubs and a White Sox fan fighting in the stands, and I just, is it really that deep that you're fighting in the stands? Is it really that deep? Is it that deep that you want to call a grown man or a grown woman out their name? I mean, I've seen you harass 5-year-old kids that come to the Pacer games in Cleveland. I've seen you harass too.
And he ain't getting my. I think I told you I had a quota. 10 T-shirts. Hey,
I'm talking about when you saw that 5-year-old kid cheering for James Harden, and you was like, I ought to hit that little kid in the mouth for cheering for James Harden.
Now you just lying. But I will listen for T-shirt toss. I'm just telling you, it's all for one and one for all. Don't get in my way. I don't care. Big, tall, short, or little. I'm getting my T-shirts. So you're right. Hey, listen, you see me in action. You remember before they remade the stadium? I was set up in that little perch there. Hey,
oh my God. I wish you was as enthused about the T-shirt toss as buying the beer when it's your turn to buy the beer at the Pacer games. I wish you was that enthused.
Ain't my fault I left my wallet at home. That was an accident.
Every game for 25 games? Yeah, okay.
Hey, sometimes you forget stuff. But anyway, listen, finish up with Shador. I think he has a higher calling. I think he's going to be a long-time NFL player. Maybe not a long-term starter like I was thinking last year, but I think he has a place. And backup quarterback. Think about this. Tyrod Taylor, year 15, brother. I can't see 15. That's not bad. That's not bad. So hang your head. Don't hang your head, Shador Sanders. You got a higher calling, and as soon as you get out of Cleveland, your career's gonna probably take off.
Well,
So,
Miles Garrett's career is definitely about to take off with the Rams, right?
well,
So
his career is already there. Now he's going to start winning.
yeah,
Hey, so we're gonna stay on football, and then we're gonna pivot to the WNBA. You said you're gonna get some real takes about your wonderful Indianapolis Colts. We got the Richardson situation. We got the front office deal. We
look,
got the
let me handle this. You don't know about the Colts.
well,
All you know is hate. All you know is hate against the Colts. Okay? Yeah. A couple of shows ago, I said the Colts would go 13-4. I said that to the UFL. What is he? What is Michael smoking over there?
You said the
What
Colts.
is Michael? What is Michael smoking over there?
Don't worry. See, it's an acronym for Alabama fans. Unfortunately, fools love us. That's what that means. Don't worry about it. So anyway, back to your Colts. You were saying.
Um, and I picked the Colts, just messing with you because you want to troll my Colts and you want me to talk bad about my Colts. And I'm gonna tell you the truth about the Colts. I may not talk bad about them. I may not agree with every decision. You let me talk.
I didn't say it.
You told you about. I hear you. Trying to interject. I said 13-4. I said 13-4 with my heart, and barring no injuries, I still believe they could be 13-4. But our second string at a lot of positions are really weak. Our second string, far as some of the offensive linemen, our second string black men on the quarters and safety are a little weak. I think our second string running back is going to be okay. I'm still a little worried about our second string quarterbacks. I still think we have to keep Anthony Richardson, which they're probably going to do because Leonard is clearly not ready and he still needs to sit on the sideline and study. Um, um, I'm in a good place with Daniels being a starter um, based off what he did last year, 7-1. That's why I was okay with them not. Yeah, you trolling. I see you putting up all these comments, but that's okay. I'm not gonna go off on a tangent. And my uncle don't know Jack anyway. My uncle don't know Jack. I should be the uncle and he should be the nephew, but that's another subject. Um, the Colts are probably gonna be 9-8 realistically in my mind. In my heart, I'm saying 13-4 because I have a lot of questions about the backup linebackers. I mean, and the linebackers because they let my guy go, Franklin, and he was pretty good. Yeah. So I worry about the linebacker core, and I worry about getting consistent pressure on the quarterback. I do think that the defense is probably going to lead the way, but if you're on the field a lot playing defense, you get tired after a while. So the second string and the injuries worried me as far as my coach. So I think the coach may be 9, and I'm okay with them not firing the GM like you said he should be fired because he's been here 10 years and blah blah say what he has done. Based on last year, I wanted him fired last year because I didn't think Daniels was going to come in and perform at all, and Daniels showed me that he could perform within the first 8 games. He did, and the Colts were good until injuries. I'm not crying about injuries. The only time I cried about injuries was when it was about the Pacers and we had so many injuries going on. I see you over there sucking your lips and wanting to chime in and everything. I don't care what you have to say. I'm happy at the situation where the Colts are considering where they are in the salary cap. I'm happy that they gave JT some extra money. I do think that if our secondary is okay, I think Ward's going to be okay. You brought up Ward. The truth has entered the chat. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, this is episode 26. 23, and we finally got the truth out of Reggie, King of the Trolls, Sykes. I'm gonna tell you this, right? I'm not gonna clown you, but I'm just gonna give you this.
I'm gonna give you this.
I'm impressed with your final truth telling, right? But I'm not done with you telling. I'm gonna force you to tell some more truth, right? So this is a fact. This isn't a feeling, okay? Last night at Tyrese's charity game, there's a lot of Colts players there. There's a lot of Pacers players there. Some other folks there, some celebrities and stuff. Simone Biles is there. Saw some pictures of her. My guy Isaiah was there last night with Wish TV because he's an intern, Wish TV 8. Take a look at Isaiah Hoffman, everybody. He's going to be your next NBA broadcaster superstar in about the next 10, 12 years. So don't sleep on Isaiah Hoffman. So I talked to Isaiah, and I'm gonna speak for him, but I'm gonna let him double down on it in our show. He said that Anthony Richardson was there. Okay, he stayed in the dugout the whole game. When he came out on the field, he was booed so heavily by the fans. He didn't come out and bat. He didn't come out and smile and shake hands or do anything. But I'm gonna let Isaiah speak to it. And this is my point. We dog Cleveland fans. Can you, as a Colts fan, tell me what this young man has done so bad to the Colts and their organization for them to boo him, the fourth player pick in the draft after having 11 starts in his career, 19 games played in college football, no legitimate backup as an NFL player, and the keys handed to him right out of school? You tell me, justify what those piece of crap Colts fans / whoever fans are who are booing and jeering this guy for him doing nothing. He didn't say anything about the fans. He didn't say anything about anything. He didn't do supposedly what Deshaun Watson did. So you're a Colts fan. Speak for your brethren, because I can't speak.
No, those are not my brethren. First of all, every fan base has a select few of fans that are assholes. You're an asshole. So every fan base has a select few of fans that are assholes. I blame the Colts for that situation. You knew this young man was.
Who do you blame? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I blame the Colts. I've said this before. This is not the first time I've said this. I've said this on previous shows. I've said it on shows that I've called into. I've said this before. I blame the Colts. And you see, I'm a Colts fan. Look, I got my Colts gear on. I don't know which way to turn for the camera. Got my Colts hat on. I blame the Colts. Anthony Richardson, they should have bought in, just like Vegas bought in Cousins. They should have bought in a veteran quarterback, and Anthony Richardson should have sat on the bench the first year.
I didn't say. Keep going. They should have put him on the bench the first year. Continue.
You having fun posting these comments? Hey, Reef, I'll talk about your Steelers in a minute. That wasn't even in the game pre-production meeting, but we'll talk about them too. He had only played 11 games in as a freshman, and I heard he was hurt his senior year in high school and only played a couple of games also. So you're giving this guy the keys to the Cadillac, and he's 8 years old and he can't drive it yet. Yeah, he has a lot of potential, but there's no way in hell the coach should have threw him out there without letting him study the game and becoming a better. The guy was 19, 20 when he got drafted, and I know you said that's not a kid; it's a young man, and he did right going pro, whatever.
He was a lot younger than a lot of the other players. The guy, like I said, 19 full games as a college football player, right?
And some of them get 2 or 3 years. Some of them get 2 or 3 years. Yeah, exactly. So I blame the coach. I blame the GM, and I blame Steichen, the coach for the Colts.
Shane Steichen.
He think he's a guru, and he's a pretty good coach, and he think he can make anybody better. But sometimes these young kids need to sit and watch. Mendoza's going to sit and watch unless Cousins get hurt. Mendoza is not going to start for the Raiders. And Mendoza has a lot better accuracy than Richardson. I think Richardson has a lot of potential, and he needs to work on his craft a little bit more. I want to see him with the number ones and see how he does with the number ones. The Colts are playing a lot of backups. People are talking about the Colts getting blown out. When the Colts were with Peyton Manning and Edgerrin James and Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne and all them, they didn't win preseason games. It's an evaluation. It's an evaluation. So I didn't compare it to basketball. Why don't you just shut up and let me talk? How about that? So, you make me sick. I can't stand you. I'm really trying not to go off on a rant, but you're going to make me go off on a rant. You, Brandon Reeve, my uncle, Michael E., y'all going to make me go off on a rant. So, I blame the Colts for the Anthony Richardson situation. The fans that are booing him are the same fans that are booing Deshaun Watson and booing other players that they don't like on their team. Don't get mad at that player. Get mad. That's one you can put on the GM and coach because they didn't let him sit and learn the game. But I do think Richardson will be on this team this year because Leonard's not ready. And I do believe next year he's going to go to a team. He's probably going to go to a team that can groom him a little bit better. Yeah, here we go, bum. I know that's you putting that up.
Well, yeah,
but yeah, that's my situation. Leonard, I know. Leonard is not ready. Richardson needs to work up on his. He just want me to talk about the Steelers so bad. He just want me to talk about the Steelers.
You were in the middle of a Richardson point, and then you just Richardson. He's gonna go to another team.
These comments, yeah, you in these comments, yeah, okay. I see. That's what we're doing today. I wish I had control of the keyboard.
Listen. Understand. This is an interactive show. We're an interactive show. Okay. We got people commenting. We got to share those comments because it's important. We're interactive.
And you don't ever serve comments when you got stuff going on. The Colts will probably be 9-8. In my heart, they'll probably be 9-8. In my mind, barring no injuries, they'll be 13-4. It depends on how the defense plays. It depends on if Daniels can come out and not have injuries. I want to see him.
You gotta keep going. You gotta stay on track, brother. The camera's in front of you. Go ahead. Just act like they're not even saying anything. But it's interactive. I want our viewers to know we're watching your comments and we're paying attention and we want your interaction. I'm begging for it.
You begging for the trolls to go off because you say you don't troll, but you encourage other people to troll me.
That's not encouraging.
Okay. I've said my true take about the Colts. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's talk about them sorry bums with that 110-year-old quarterback they got that's going to be hot trash. Let's talk about the sorry 49ers, who you call the Dallas Cowboys of the West. Did you not say that?
No, I said they are the California version of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, California's out west, right?
But I said California. I didn't say west. I said California. And the reason why is because Dallas has won a Super Bowl more recently than San Francisco. That's just a fact. That ain't trolling. That's just a fact.
No, that was troll. You were trying to troll Bang Bang Gang. Bang Bang. I'm going to start saying Bang Bang Trailer Park Gang. That's what I'm going to say.
No. Someone said to me last year, I forget who it was, they said, you all are always on the Cowboys because we got Ramon who's a 49er fan. And they said, you got to look at the stats for 49ers and the Cowboys for the last 20 years. And I did that. Man, you're talking about real similar, brother. I mean, real similar. That's all. Right. That's just again, listen, man, I think that the Cowboys are still the most marketable team in the NFL. We can be mad at them all we want. And probably San Francisco, Pittsburgh, right? Second.
Yeah, but Pittsburgh ain't going to be marketable this year because Brandon Reed from Crossroads Sports think they're going to have a great season. He thinks that they're going to be so great that some team that's playoff contention is going to want to trade for Aaron Rodgers. What in the world has he been smoking? What in the hell has Brandon Reed been smoking? The Steelers probably are only going to win 4 to 5 games this year. Aaron Rodgers is nothing. Yeah, he can still throw the ball, but he can't scramble. The offensive line is garbage, and they don't have any running backs. The steel curtain ain't there. Mean Joe Green and the great Mel Blount from Southern University. That's the only thing that's ever been good about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mel Blount, Southern University, Hall of Fame. Other than that, the Steelers can kiss the bottom of my feet and their fans. I put the Steelers fans, the Cowgirl fans, the Bear fans, the Hammond, Indiana Bear fans, the Philadelphia, I'm going to throw snowballs and Santa Claus fans, and who else do I hate? The New England Cheetah fans and Crab and all of them. I put all y'all fans in the same boat. You've been wanting me to go off on a rant, so now I'm off on a rant. Y'all done made me go off the reservation, and I said I was going to come on this show, and I was going to be calm, collective, and give my true thoughts about the Colts. I do that, but you want to post comments from these trolls who want to troll the king of trolls. I'm going to get the last laugh. Yeah, here we are. We here 1 minute and 8 seconds, an hour and 8 minutes in, and you got me off on a rant. And I wasn't going to go off on a rant today. But that's my rant for now. Now, what do you got to say?
You know, I just got a text from Brandon Reed. I don't know if he want me to read it out loud, but he said that the Steelers would beat the Colts 9 out of 10 games straight up if they played 10 games straight. What are your thoughts about that?
We play this year. Brandon, let's make a bet. We play the Steelers this year. I think we play them in the schedule. Let's bet. Sip some shine from your cup, Reg. This is coffee. In the Southern University, because this is coffee.
I think, we had a lot of good dialogue, serious dialogue. We get fired up, and you being fired up with truth over mostly bias got me fired up. I'm all heated, right? I'm looking at the Cleveland fans and the State by the Lake and knocking the fans that are in the stadium last night, booing Richardson, right? Because he asked for a trade. But what they don't want to talk about is the coach said first, we are not extending you. So he said,
yes.
Not, are you saying you don't want me? Let me go.
Right. They gave his agent permission to find trade targets. They wasn't getting enough back. Switch to DK. Why you put these comments up? They told his agent to go out. Oh my goodness.
Hey man, listen, y'all. Hey E, Brandon, Unc, Michael Eason. I wish my boy Eli was in. He chime in for us. Hey man, these are our loyal followers, man. They get nothing but love from the Game Time Network, man, because they're part of the show. They are absolutely 100% part of the show.
The Steelers will be lucky to win 5 games. The Colts will beat the Steelers this way. That's a $20 bet, E. Brandon, that's a $20 bet. The Colts will beat the Steelers. That's a bet. I'm taking both of those bets. The Colts are going to be better than what people did. Are we doing a show or are we texting during the show? Is that what we're doing?
I'm just trying to mimic you. You don't want to talk to nobody. I'm not talking. You go ahead.
What did Eric say in the text?
Look at your phone. I'll talk while you look at your phone, your text. So as we've been talking,
that's a bet, Brandon. That's a bet, Brandon. That's a bet. That's a bet. That's a bet.
I think Brandon's got a bet with you. Eric's got a bet with you. Hey, hey.
Did he really just AI me in some FAMU bull crap? Oh my goodness.
I didn't want to say it out loud.
He better not post that on Facebook. I'm tired of y'all AI me in gear.
It's too late. It's probably already there, man. It's just.
Oh my goodness. All right, man.
Hey, so listen.
Let's get there.
We're not done yet.
We're a minute 12 in. Go ahead.
Here's the great thing about this. What we've come across is you got 2 bets, Colts Steelers, Brandon Reed, and Eric Gunnell. You got a bet with me that you said that there's no Big Ten team is going to have an ex-NFL player on their roster.
This year.
I don't know. I don't know that they will or not, but I'm taking the over that they will. Okay. And the loser has to wear either a Notre Dame or an Alabama Crimson Tide, not Alabama Tide, no such thing. Alabama Crimson Tide, 100% at the Pacers game, and we're gonna be on camera. So and listen, ain't no double back. No, see, no. That's a bet. Done deal. Flip that. 100%. So, do you have anything you want to wrap around with regarding the NFL, the college game, Notre Dame, Bama, Troll, anything you want to hit on? Because Brandon and Eric have been really great partners in this thing today. And can't forget about Mike Eason as well. Hey, they're bringing the pain, man. They're bringing the pain.
Yeah. That's why you don't troll. You encourage other people to troll.
I don't. You're right. I don't.
That's why I talk bad about you, because you always trying to influence people to talk bad about. You influence Isaiah, a young guy that's probably going to be a great sports announcer.
How about listen? Oh, speaking of that, I got some news for you, right? So most people don't know this, but me and Coach Scott Moore of the Grace Lancers, NAIA, probably be preseason number 1 team up there at Grace College up north there. Had a conversation with Coach. They're going to be playing in Gamers Life again this season, the 29th of December. So in talking to Scott Moore, I think Scott Moore and I are somewhat related. My mom's maiden name was Moore. So Coach Scott Moore. He may be a little lighter than me, but I got a feeling me and Coach Scott Moore may be related somewhere. He said to me, he says, D-Cop, no, he didn't. Call me Daryl. He don't want to call me Daryl on the show. He says, Daryl, I'm seeing what we can do about getting you guys some tickets there on the floor, sitting next to the coach, so you can see me yelling and screaming at my players and everything, and see how you guys like that. So I got my calendar marked December 29th, Grace College, NAIA basketball. This guy, hey, we better appreciate him now at Grace.
Well, how many tickets is Coach getting us?
Hold on a minute.
You notice I said us.
See, so here's the deal. See, when you're having a conversation like that, you don't say how many. You say, good looking out, Coach. I'll be in touch. You don't go ahead and jump the gun. We'll see what happens.
I really don't know if I want to go to the game with you because it'll be another game that I have to buy the beer at.
Well, here's the deal. We won't have to buy the beer because my brother lives about just a little than 30 minutes from Grace College. It'll be a home game. We can get faded before we go. We can get us an Uber, get us dropped off and dropped off back. So we ain't got to buy beer there. We can get it all at my brother's house and we'll be good to go. There you go. Okay. See? There you go. I got you. So shout out to my guy, Coach Scott Moore. We better appreciate him now because I'm telling you, over the next couple of years, Scott Moore, you're going to hear that name in Hoop Lore, man. They got their whole team back. And they lost in the semifinals of the NAIA championship this past season. So shout out to my guy, Scott Moore, man. I think probably my cousin. I just call him my cousin, Scott Moore.
Yeah, you jinxed him. Yeah, by saying you related, you jinxed him. But hey, now it's time for the serious part of the show.
No, you missed the WNBA. You was great. Go in.
We're a minute and 16. We're an hour and 16 minutes in.
Let me hit it real quick. We stand on the court. Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, and Goggles. Those are your top three for the MVP.
Kelsey Mitchell.
She not in the run. Goggles.
Yes, she is.
Got you. Goggles had a tough game last night, but I'm gonna tell you this: it doesn't matter. She's still a baller. And September 22nd, I get to see her in person, and I'm hoping that she doesn't sit out for rest and all that stuff like that. I'm really excited about the game, September 22nd. I get to see Goggles and Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston do their things in games like Fieldhouse. And oh, by the way, if you go, Reggie, well, I don't know if I got a ticket. I was gonna say I'll buy you the beer, but I don't think you're going to that game. So,
like you said, though, that's the last game of the season. So hopefully it's a meaningful game where both teams need to play their players so we can see how they play. And hopefully it's not one of those games where the rankings are not rankings, the positions are set and players aren't sitting in, because we see that in the NBA a lot. Now to the serious part of the show, because we're an hour and 17 minutes in. Your mental health is very important. Daryl is an advocate of mental health because his son has had a friend that took his life, and he's had a coworker take his life with mental health. So that's very, very important. We've had friends tell us stories about how their kids were not feeling the best and they were stressed about something, and they were thinking it. And this one friend, he's a great dad and everything, and he's been a single father and he's been taking care of his kids forever, even through battles with their mother and everything. And it's always important, if you're feeling down or feeling like suicide is the only answer, to call the number what, Cot?
988 AFSP. Operators are standing by to give you the help that you need and you deserve. Sure.
And it's your mental health. I say it every show. Your mental health is like a bone in your body. If you break your arm or break your leg, you go to the doctor, you have a cast put on, and you heal. Your mind is a muscle. Sometimes there may be imbalances. You may feel different ways because of the different. We just talked about social media and how people troll and make people feel bad and everything. How these kids are going for likes and not getting likes, and they feel like the world is coming to the end and everything. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, mom, dad, or if you're grown, hey, boss, I need to talk to somebody because right now my head is telling me to do some bad things, okay? There's never wrong. I don't care how big of a man you are, how old of a man you are. There's never nothing wrong with asking for help for your muscle, your brain, if you feel something is going on. Nothing wrong with asking help.
100%. And I want to share this. I didn't share this with you earlier, Reggie. So I got word, and this is, I kid you not, I got word yesterday that another one of my prior employees from the company I was with before passed away Sunday night. It's not 100% confirmed, but I've got on great notice that it did happen. Right. This is the
Wow.
second person that I've been a big part of from an employer perspective that didn't have a way out, felt they didn't have a way out. And all I'm saying is this: everybody's not okay. It doesn't matter what a person looks like on the outside, because you can't tell if somebody's got something going on within their mental health and what they feel like they're going through, or feel like they can't turn or talk to anybody. So this is not. So listen, first of all, y'all, me and Reggie love each other like brothers. That's real talk. But this is real, and we give each other hell all the time. And I promise, when we got to call, when he goes on his way to work, he's gonna call me, cuss me out, and he's gonna give me some more corn, sweet corn, and I'm gonna give him some more green tomatoes. But this is real. So we talk about this, and people say, "Oh, there y'all go again." I'm gonna keep talking about it. Every
show.
we're gonna talk about this, right? Because that young man had 2 children and a wife, right? There were challenges there, but still. And I know him personally because I hired him, I interviewed him, and I know the type of person he was. And I know if something happens in that case, if in fact someone does that, they feel they've got no way out. And I feel really bad because had I been there, I've been able to help him because I know him really well, and we were really good, right? So it's unfortunate, but just think about this: you're in a situation where you're struggling. Find somebody. We can't tell. And that's why when you talk to people, and I give Reggie hell all the time, I tell him, be safe, man. Get out there, get to work, let me know you made it. You're good to go. You're working late nights and stuff. You get tired, and those things happen. So we've got to be aware things can happen. It may not be you, Reggie. It could be somebody else. But just be aware. Somebody saying, remember those drivers driving the wrong way on the highway? May not have anything to do with you, but they've got a death wish. And again, it's just important to be there for people when you can. So I'm not going to belabor the point, but rest easy. Host of Fat Gonzalez, love you to death, man. And I see you on the other side. But it's real, and it's not going to go away. And we're losing people left and right. We've got to be mindful of that. And I want everybody to be aware, and then also help each other out as much as you can. So that's my take on that. We're going to always do that, but we've had a lot of fun on this show. We're like I said, like you, an hour and 21 minutes in. This has been fun, y'all. We have some serious stuff we get on, and it's important, right? Because life is not just a bowl of grapes. Sometimes tough things happen, and we got to have tough topics, right, to talk about. Special thanks to Eric Grinnell, Brandon Reed, my uncle Johnny Sykes.
He ain't your uncle.
Shauna, all of y'all that came in on board, we love y'all, Def. Isaiah, I saw you said my camera finally looks good. I've been dealing with this camera thing for the last couple of weeks, playing with it. I finally got it straight, I think. So I'm happy about that. And as Reggie said, his heart says 13-4. His mind says 9-8. So I'm calling right now 11-6 for the Colts. My boy Reggie Sykes, 11-6 for the Colts. Daniel Jones is going to go in there. He's going to be comeback player of the year, and he's going to be ready to roll. Book it here.
The jinx has spoken. Oh my God.
Hey, this is your boy D. Con for his boy Reggie, King of the Trolls, a.k.a. Homer Reggie, a.k.a. Notre Dame State, a.k.a. Purdue better than Indiana. Don't worry about it. I love all of Indiana. Thanks, Reggie, for being a part of the show again. Be safe, everybody. Until next time, be careful.